what's going on? Nefarious Wes here, and I'm bringing you another Top 3 Tuesday. Now, Michael B. the Game Genie originally brought back the Top 3 Tuesday about a year and a half ago, and the best part about it was that we got to make response videos to share our top 3 of whichever subject he chose. So I would love to see your guys' responses, but the subject that I'm going to choose today are the top 3 retro games that I did not grow up with. So the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to choose 3 games that I did not discover until I was at least 30 years old or older. So I have no nostalgia red rosy goggles for these games. These games are just that damn good that when I played them years, decades after they were released, they were that good. They are now some of my favorite games. And you know what game I'm going to start off with? Balloon Fight for the NES.
Balloon Fight is an extremely simplistic game where you control a little dude suspended in air by 2 balloons by flapping your arms to elevate yourself. Often regarded as a Joust clone, it is much more than that. You're pitted up against other balloon fighters who you have to take down by popping their balloons, and then clearing them from the board by either taking out their parachute, knocking them out of commission on the ground, or simply feeding them to the fishes. The game is without a doubt best enjoyed with 2 players, as you can simultaneously work together by clearing each board of baddies. Good God, is it addicting! It also helps to have 2 players to clear the bonus rounds after every 3 stages. The game's difficulty increases as you engage each phase, tossing in other hazards such as lightning into the mix. There's also a 1-player balloon trip where you have to see how far you can make it through an auto side-scrolling stage loaded with obstacles to avoid. While yes, the gameplay is simplistic as I have stated before, it's actually one of Balloon Fight's more alluring traits. See, anyone can play this game and enjoy it, even non-gamers. I've had the most fun playing with my non-gamer friends to the point where we both reset the score and kept coming back for more. Addictive and extremely fun, I am so glad that I stumbled across Balloon Fight.
So yeah, Balloon Fight is so much fun. I am so glad that I picked it up when I did. It is now one of my favorite NES games. It is just addicting, and like I mentioned, it is really easy to play with someone who is not a gamer. It's so simple, the mechanics are, that really anyone can play it and enjoy it. So I highly recommend that game. I know it's getting expensive now, but if you don't have it, pick it up. It's also on the NES Classic, so you can always play it there as well. But the next game is a game that I had avoided for a long time. I didn't want anything to do with it because of its predecessor, but I finally tried it out last year, and what do you know? It's fantastic. Castlevania: Legacy of Darkness.
When I first played Castlevania 64 after it was released in January 1999, I was so disappointed with the game that after I had finished it, I swore that I would never touch that piece of shit again. When Castlevania Legacy of Darkness was released only 10 months later, I wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. At the time, I would have rather rubbed jalapeno juice into open wounds. But after revisiting Castlevania 64 last year and making a video for it, I really wanted to try Legacy out, especially after hearing how much of an improvement it was over the original. And my viewers were right. Legacy of Darkness is awesome. This Castlevania installment features Cornell, a man-beast who has to rescue his sister from Count Dracula. The god-awful camera issues from the first Nintendo 64 game were fixed, the fog reduced significantly thanks to the expansion pack, and stages from the prior games were remixed on top of adding 4 additional stages. To top that off, campaigns can be unlocked for both Reinhardt and Carrie from the first game, and even Henry, a knight armed with a 6-shooter who has to find and rescue several children hidden throughout 6 stages within a time limit. New puzzles and bosses have been added, the soundtrack is excellent, big surprise, the aesthetics are eerie, and the game is just simply what Castlevania 64 should have been. So glad I finally tried this one out. It definitely exceeded my expectations. Highly recommended.
So I'm definitely glad that I finally tried out Legacy of Darkness. I had no idea what I've been missing out all this time, but better late than never, right? So the final game on my list is a game that I picked up at my local retro store because it was pretty cheap, and man, it is incredible. Atomic Runner on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I've talked about Atomic Runner before, but the game is so damn awesome, it's worth mentioning again. I picked this one up over 2 years ago from my local retro shop since it was only 11 bucks, and holy shit was I blown away. I had never played anything quite like it. The best way I could describe this masterpiece is by calling it a platforming/shooter hybrid. The screen auto-scrolls as your runner Chernov sprints along with it. What makes the game such a challenge is the fact that the screen never stops moving as in a shooter, so taking out all of the baddies that surround you unscathed can become an insurmountable feat. You have to jump to avoid obstacles and enemies and to reach other platforms, and you even have to sometimes use the enemies themselves as platforms in order to survive. While you are able to turn around to blast monsters who sneak up from behind, Chernov cannot walk backwards, and a backwards jump is extremely limited. Of course, a number of special weapons are at Chernov's disposal, and choosing the right one for you is simply your preference. I like the boomerang and default weapons the best. But what really makes this game stand out from any others that I've played are the graphics and sound. Good lord, it's so freaking good. The visuals are vibrant and combine the aesthetics of technology with the archaic backdrops of ancient civilizations before concluding in modern-day New York City. But quite possibly the greatest gem that Atomic Runner has to offer is its incredible soundtrack. It is amazing. One of the best soundtracks I've ever heard for a game in my life. Take a listen. Atomic Runner is out of this freaking world good and has since become one of my all-time favorite games. It's timeless and always a blast to play, even when I'm out of practice. I can't get enough of it.
If you haven't played Atomic Runner yet, you are definitely missing out. It's not an easy game, it's very difficult, but man is it rewarding. It is so much fun. So anyway, now we're getting to the best part. This is where you guys can make response videos and list off your top 3 retro games that you did not grow up with. So what I would love to see is I'd love to see you guys throw up some videos. When you have the video up on YouTube, go ahead and post the link down in the comments below. I will then share it on Twitter and Facebook. We'll get these videos out and around and just see what everyone's top 3s are, because I think this is a lot of fun. Now, I'm just doing a one-off. I'm not going to keep doing the top 3 Tuesday. I just like to do these every now and then for fun. I did one last year for the top 3 sports games. But if someone else wants to go ahead and take the reins and throw up a new category for a top 3 Tuesday, go for it. By all means, do it. It's a lot of fun. It brings the community together, and I don't know, it's just very enjoyable. So anyway, I want to thank all you guys for checking out this video. I hope to see your responses. Don't forget to leave the links in the comments below. I will make sure to share them all over social media. And until next time, I will catch all of you guys later.